Shinies, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be doing this club New Year's Eve inspired makeup look using a brand new collection from Artist Couture in collab with Static Jon. Now, if you guys don't know who Static Jon is, he is Katie's husband. And if you don't know who Katie is, do you know Desi Perkins? They are best friends. And if you don't know who Desi Perkins is, then I really don't know what to tell you. Mac Daddy on Instagram, he is the founder of Artist Couture. And they would do like club, I think it was Club Fridays, I think. And they would go live. And Static Jon, which is Katie's husband, he was a DJ and they would play music. And it was just a club scene during this pandemic. And they literally would put a smile on my face every single time they would go live. They would be drinking, taking shots, dancing, playing the cuts. Like, it was definitely a party time. And I just love that they did that. And they collaborated. I kind of saw it coming though, to be honest, because they were hanging out so much, doing the Club Fridays. So I definitely created this look for you guys, including the lip. He came out with a highlighter. So I'm going to be showing you guys the whole entire tutorial. I wanted to point this out first before we get started. Artist Couture did send this to me. So I'm not getting paid though for the video at all. I'm still going to give you guys my most honest opinion when it comes down to the products. But when I saw the PR, I had to rip this out of the PR because I just thought it was so sick. This is so fun to look at. Here we have it. Look, Club Daddy. Mac Daddy would always dance over here as well. That's John, if you guys didn't know. That's Katie's husband. There's Katie right here. There they are together. And I just thought, I love this one right here too. This is just so epic. I just loved the PR box so much. Thank you, Artist Couture, for putting a smile on my face. I think my mom and my brother and my husband, and I opened up the PR and they were like, whoa, like this is dope. So they definitely nailed it with the PR box. I do want to show you guys some swatches of the products, so I'm definitely going to go ahead and run that clip for you guys. So yeah, with that said, let's go ahead and get started and play with some Club Daddy makeup. Alright guys, so here we have the palette. I love the packaging. I just love how Mac Daddy is like front and center. And then here we have the eyeshadow palette. I'm gonna go ahead and do some swatches for you guys. The palette does run for $38. And so you get 9 eyeshadows, you get mattes, and you get shimmer shades. And I think they swatched pretty good. I think the only color that definitely was struggling was that purple shade called Fuck It Up Sis. I think that's the only one that I was having some problems getting the pigment that I wanted, which you guys will see later in the tutorial. So here we have all of the 9 eyeshadows, and then the next thing, you guys, that I'm going to show you guys is the Banger Diamond Lights Finisher, which runs for $26. You guys, these are definitely so bomb, and I definitely highly recommend these if you haven't checked them out. And then we have the highlighter, which runs for $32. So pretty. I love how, you know, glowy and bronzy this looks. And then lastly, we have the lipstick swatch, which is in the shade called Daddy, and they do run for $19. Now it's time for the tutorial. Let's go ahead and pick up Fuck It Up Sis, and I'm using the Morphe M433, and it's that nice dark plum shade in the palette. You guys already know that I'm a sucker for purple and pink, so when I saw this palette, I definitely was like, oh my god, yes, give it to me. So I'm going to do a little bit differently. I'm going to apply the dark plum shade towards the outer corner, and then just kind of work up the pigment, and then with whatever I have left, I do start to flick it towards the outer corner to give it that nice pulled back fox eye look. So I will say that that eyeshadow is my least favorite. It did take me, you know, quite some time to build it up to the intensity that I wanted it to be. So with that said, you guys, unfortunately I did have to go and cheat and pick up a different purple. I did go into Dreamin' in Color from Be Bella, and I picked up the shade called Black Cherry to really intensify it, what you guys see here currently. I wish I didn't have to do that, but that purple shade just wasn't working for me, and you guys already know that I love to be super honest with you guys. But I will say that the next shade that we're going to use, which is called Twerk Off from this palette, so bomb. I wish that they would, whatever they did to that shade, I wish they would have did it to Fuck It Up Sis. And I think hands down, you know, that purple would have been so bomb. So here we go with Twerk Off, and a little bit goes a long way, you guys. And when I placed this on my eyes, I was like, oh my god, yes, pigment. I was a little skeptical, not going to lie, but look at that. It's showing up really nicely. It's very buttery. It doesn't feel as dry as Fuck It Up does, and it just blended in really smoothly into that dark plum shade. And I just thought this color was just absolutely gorgeous. I love it. So all you're doing, you guys, is just building up, you know, that color, and you can apply as much pigment as you wish. Next, I'm going to go into Bottle Service, and same thing, I'm just going to use it to blend out Twerk Off and blend out those edges so that everything looks nice and smooth. This color as well did amazing. I feel like it's a really nice, pretty, like rosy pink. And with whatever I have left on the brush, I do like to just buff it up going towards the brows. Now I'm switching over to a more detailed brush, and I'm picking up this black shade, which is called Big Mike, and it's also just matte. And I'm going to place it towards the outer corner, like creating a smoked out wing liner. I actually do have a smoked out wing tutorial for you guys coming very, very soon after this video. But yeah, that's pretty much what we're doing. And then once we do that, I'm going to go ahead and pick up my Morphe M433 brush once again, and picking up that shade called Twerk Off and a little bit of Fuck It Up Sis, just to blend out the black, so that way everything looks nice and smooth and blended. And like if now I'm gonna go into my black eye pencil from Urban Decay, and it's just Perversion. That's the shade, but it's just black. And I'm going to tie line my eyes so that way once we apply some falsies, you won't be able to see any skin peeking through, and that's why I'm smudging a little bit of eyeliner on the top. I did go a little bit thicker than I wanted to, but that's okay, because once we go in with the shimmer shade, you won't be able to see so much black underneath, but you will still see some smokiness. And then I'm just going back into that black matte shade and a little bit of Fuck It Up Sis, that dark plum shade, just to blend out any harsh lines. And then we're going to go into Static with my finger with absolutely no setting spray or glitter adhesive. This is strictly just using my finger. And then I'm going into a clean MAC 217 brush. I didn't pick up any product. I'm just smoothing out that shimmer shade so that way it just looks blended and there's no like harsh lines. And then I do touch up the black eyeliner, as you guys are going to see here in just a second. I just don't want the black to disappear. I still want some darkness in those certain areas. So that way it still looks nice and smoky. Because I really don't want to lose that black. And now to clean up any fallout, I'm using a Neutrogena makeup wipe remover and then just cutting the outer corner, making it more sharp. So that way it looks nice and pulled back. Then I'm going to go into the Diamond Lights finisher in the shade Banger. You guys, this is so bomb. This is definitely one of the products that I highly recommend. I am using it with a glitter adhesive, and I'm only placing this right in the center of the eye. I feel like this really helped the eyeshadow pop a lot more, and it really reminds me of a disco ball. Like, I am ready to go to the club, sis, okay? But I really love the way that this came out. And then I'm just going back to that pencil again, just to touch up a little bit, really close to the lash line, and then just picking up more of that black matte shade. But we don't have to do a lot of blending because we have that under black already there on the eye. Hi guys, so now let's go ahead and move on to the skin. So I'm going to prep my skin with a primer, and I'm going to go into the Too Faced Hangover Replenishing Primer. I'm also going to mix in a little bit of these iconic London Illuminating droplets. Apply like 1.5. I am going to blend it out with a brush and apply this to my skin. I definitely want my foundation to still look, you know, matte, but at the same time, I really still want it to look nice and glowy underneath. Since I do layer on powders, I do like to apply a nice like illuminator underneath my skin. Alright guys, so for foundation, I'm going to go into my Too Faced Born This Way in the shade Vanilla, but I do mix it with my NARS Semi-Matte All Day Luminous Foundation in the shade Syracuse. Hopefully I'm saying that right. So it's these two. And I am using a V Bella brush, which is the NG357, and I absolutely love this foundation brush, you guys. I feel like it really applies my foundation really well. And it doesn't look streaky. It looks nice and full coverage, just how I like it. And remember, you don't have to apply this much foundation. I just love to apply this amount. I just really like how full coverage. I have a lot of textured skin, and I would definitely say that my biggest insecurity is my skin, and I've struggled with it for many years. And I know that less is more, which I do. I don't cake it on, you know. I use, you know, a good, decent, normal amount. So I just love to use a, you know, brush lately because I feel like it really covers up my imperfections really well. And of course the foundations have a lot to do with it. Alright guys, so for concealer, I'm going into the Boing Cakeless Concealer from Benefit in the shade number 6. And we're going to go ahead and apply this in the areas that I normally apply my concealer. Right under the eyes, and then we're going to go ahead and apply it towards the outer corner of the eye, which is really going to help lift the eye. And then on the chin, bridge of my nose, and on the forehead as usual. So now for cream contouring, I'm going to go into the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop Concealer in the shade Mahogany. So it feels pretty good actually to pick it up again. I really like how bronzy it looks. And I'm just applying it like I normally would to be applying a bronzer. Now you are in control of how much product you want to apply. Normally for events, I do like to go in a little bit heavier. And I don't normally go into cream concealer or cream contour for like everyday activities. Normally this is just, you know, when I want to get really fancy, like today, New Year's Eve. Now to blend out the concealer, as you guys noticed, I did let it set for a little bit because I just like it. I like to let my concealer sit like if we were to be baking. I feel like it applies better, and I like to actually work it into my skin, and I don't drag the concealer like this. I just bounce the sponge on my skin. So when it comes to cream contour, you want to just make sure that everything looks smooth and, you know, that it looks like it's supposed to be there. You don't want any harsh lines peeking through, because then people are gonna know that you went in to your cream products and didn't blend them out, sis. So just make sure that everything is spot on. Also, you can go back to your contour brush, the brush that you use to apply your cream product, and just go around the head or the area where you placed your cream contour, and just go back in there one more time just to make sure that everything looks smooth. So now to set our cream products, for now we're going to go ahead and set the concealer. I'm going to go into the One Size Powder by Patrick Starr, and I have the shade Translucent. He only has 2 shades, so this is the one that would definitely fit my skin tone the best. And I'm going into the same sponge that we used to blend out the concealer and just set those areas. This powder is just so fine. I know that I always rave about it, but it is really good, you guys. I just like how lightweight it is, and whenever it's time to just remove it off my skin, it literally comes off like nothing. It comes off so soft, so flawless, and it doesn't feel cakey, which is a plus for me too. I do have a new bronzer that I just recently bought, and I've had this bronzer years ago, but I recently saw it at, I think I saw it, I don't know if it was TJ Maxx, Marshalls. I saw it at Marshalls, and they had the Laguna bronzer there. I was like, am I seeing this right? I've noticed that Marshalls and TJ Maxx are coming out with, like, you know, high-end makeup brands from like maybe Sephora and like Ulta, and they're trying to resell it through those stores for a way cheaper price. I think this was like only 15 bucks, and I think it normally retails for like almost $40. To the Morphe M405 brush, and I'm just gonna go ahead and just set the areas where we placed the cream contour. And I love this brush, you guys. This brush is so freaking soft. It doesn't shed. Some Morphe brushes do shed, which can be super annoying because you don't want to be picking at, you know, bristles off your face. So I love this brush. It's really nice. I'm taking a little bit of the bronzer in my brow bone like this. I always love doing this because I just feel like it all, you know, comes together. Okay, so now for blush, I definitely want to stay to something more on the matte side. So I'm going to go into the Studio Makeup blush in the shade Soft Blend Blush. And it's just a nice soft matte pink. I do have to invest in like new blushes because I'm running out of options. And the brush that I'm using is the Morphe M105. I'm going to go ahead and just apply this on my cheeks and then just kind of brush it into the contour or the bronzer so that everything looks smooth. Alright guys, so now let's go back into that Urban Decay black eyeliner, and I'm going to run this towards my waterline as well as bringing it down towards the lower lash line. And then with whatever the eyeshadows that we use on top, we are going to bring it down towards the bottom just to blend everything out, make it look very nice and smoky. Now remember, you don't have to go this dark or this low. I just really want this look to look extra smoky and very club ready. Next, I'm going to pick up the Milk Cosmetics Waterproof Mascara and apply some product to my lashes. Alright guys, so now that we finished off the under eye, I'm going to go ahead and just take this Be Bella brush from their Christmas collection, and I'm just going to go ahead and just dust off whatever powder we have left. And any fallout that we might have had with the black and those purple eyeshadows. Of course, whatever powder we have left, just start to really buff it into the skin and really set it in place. Go ahead and bronze up my nose because your girl forgot to cream contour her nose and to bronze her nose. No wonder everything else was looking nice and bronzy, and then I'm like, my nose looks so flat. Bronze or contour your nose. I always just like to do the sides of my nose, just a little bit underneath, but mostly on the sides. I can't wait till one day I have money and get a nose job. And I know that I don't really need it, but it's just the side profile, you know? Just this little bump, you know? Just that. I'm gonna take some more of that powder and just set the sides of my nose, just to give it that more snatched look. And this is in the shade Big Glow Energy Pressed Highlighter in the shade, sorry, Addicted to Light. So it is more of like a nice bronzy gold highlighter, which are actually my favorite. I don't like highlighters that have more of a pink undertone. For me personally, I like everything that's more on the bronzy side. I use the Morphe M451 brush, and what I'm going to do is just normally place it in the areas that I like to be highlighted in pictures. So that's really pigmented, so a little bit goes such a long way. I don't know if I want to apply some, maybe I am, just like that, a little bit. And that's it. And then for my nose, grab some with my finger and just apply it down the bridge of my nose. Ooh, really highlighted. And then just on the tip, very, very lightly. Alright guys, so now for the lips, I'm going to go into the Sweet Tea lip pencil by Morphe, and I'm going to go ahead and slap that on, and then we'll go ahead and slap on Zaddy. Daddy or Zaddy? How do you guys say it? Let me know down in the comments. Now I decided to go with a more of a brown undertone lip pencil because I feel like this is just too like pinky for me. And you guys know me, I love more of a nude lipstick, which is definitely something that I would possibly go for this eye look, but since we do have some purple and a little bit of like pink magenta in there, I feel like this will definitely still look really pretty. Alright guys, and that is it for today's makeup tutorial using the Club Daddy collection from Artist Couture. What are your thoughts? Did you guys like this eyeshadow look? I am obsessed. It definitely gives me club vibes. It kind of reminds me of Miami. I don't know why. Just the glitter, the purple, the pinks. It's definitely giving me a club vibe, and I would definitely rock this if I was at the club. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys know my thoughts of all of the products. So you guys know that I'm still gonna give it, you know, give you guys my most honest opinion. So let's go and start off with the lipstick. Now for me personally, this is not a color that I would normally grab. If I'm like at Sephora or at Ulta or just anywhere buying a lipstick, this is just not a color that I normally gravitate to. I am more of a peachy brown nude type of girl. And I know that I have to remove myself from the nude lipstick family, but it's just so hard for me. Let me know if that's your problem too, you guys, because every time I go to the store, I always go straight to look for the nudes all the time. And they're all different, okay? They are different in their own way. So I might remove this and switch it for a nude for pictures on Instagram. But the color is absolutely beautiful. I can definitely see a bride using this because brides have normally more softer eyeshadow look, and they sometimes want more of a bolder lip, but yet nothing too loud. But I think the color's beautiful, and I love the formula, you guys. Their lipsticks, like I said, one of my favorites is Saucy Gal. It's a nude lipstick, but their formula, so pigmented. It doesn't skip on the lips. It glides on like butter. I love their glosses too, so I'm a huge fan of their lipsticks. Eyeshadows, you guys, obsessed. I am obsessed with anything that's pink and purples, obvio. You guys already know me, but I absolutely love these glittery shades, especially the shade called Static. This one is just absolutely gorgeous. You guys saw in the tutorial how nicely it blended with my, just using my finger. And the cool thing, you guys, that my eyes don't feel heavy at all. Like with the glitter on my eyes, like it just feels really soft, and I don't feel like I have a bunch of glitter just sitting on my eyelids, which is a plus. The only thing though that I am going to say is the shade called Fuck It Up Sis, which you guys saw in the tutorial. It took me a while to build it up to the color that I wanted it to be. So that's the only thing that I'm going to critique from this palette. But overall, Torque Off Bottle Service, which is these two shades right here that we used to blend out the edges, are perfect. So I just wish that Fuck It Up Sis was more like Torque Off. Of course, like I always say in all my videos, if you feel like you already have shades like this, then I would definitely say skip out. Don't spend your money if you already have something like this. But of course, if you're a fan of Artist Couture, or if you like to collect, you know, when brands collaborate with YouTubers or influencers, then I definitely say, you know, pick it up if you are interested. I personally, when I saw that they posted this on Instagram, I was like, oh my god, I have to have it, because I'm just such a huge fan of purple and pinks. And I just love the theme as well. The other thing, you guys, the Diamond Lights Finisher in the shade Banger. This is definitely a banger. I feel like it definitely took this eyeshadow to a whole nother level, and it really gave me that nice sparkle that I love. I actually really love their Diamond Lights finishers, you guys. I have two in my glitter drawer, and whenever I use a shadow that is not too glittery, and if I take that out and I put it on my eyes, it just does it for me. It just, oh, so bomb. So I definitely recommend this. You can also use these and apply it with a glitter adhesive like you guys saw me use in the tutorial. Highlighter, of course, so bomb. I can still see it on my skin. It's so pretty, it's glowy, it's buttery, and I just love a gold highlighter. If you are a highlighter junkie, you're definitely going to like this, and you definitely need a little bit, because a little bit goes such a long way. If you like this video, guys, please give it a big thumbs up. Share it with a friend if they didn't know if they wanted this collection or not. Hopefully this video helps. And also, do not forget to click that little notification bell that's right next to the subscribe button, that little red button. Click that, and it notifies you every time that I upload a new video, and it helps my channel out. So I love you guys so much. Besitos, and I'll catch you guys in my next video very, very soon. Bye!